Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I'm Gat, your host. Okay, this was a request made for a gentleman just looking at his natal chart. I want to go right in. Now, his first house is the first house, and his ascendant is in his 12th house. But his first house is still a first house because EP is in his first house. All right away you can tell this is an old soul with the 27 degrees in Neptune. He'll be somewhat of an escapist. But again, that escapist is different forms of escapist. And we won't know until we get into the chart. In other words, let's just say an invading company is coming to take over a city. One person might really escape, try to run and haul ass. Another person might escape by saying, oh, it's not going to happen. Another person might try to escape by fighting the invading army. Another person might try to escape by saying, hey, listen, I'm on your side. I want to be on your side. So there's different levels of escapists. So you have to make sure. An escapist does not necessarily just mean somebody that stays high. That could be a meaning. We're not cutting that out, but we don't want to just assume that. Or drunk. And another trait they say in astrology, Neptune retrograde is somebody who stays it's kind of like a fantasy world. But either way, being Capricorn in the 12th house, he's an old soul. That's his ascendant. The ascendant is where the sun came over the horizon when he was born. And Pallas retrograde is a person who is interested in social issues. Now, if that means soulmate, Pallas retrograde, then that would be a soulmate that's going to be opposite, trying to help you be more mature or more Capricornian. 12th house is all about service. It's about endings. Watch what you do in your 12th house. You don't want to burn out, but you do want to use your Capricornian energy to help people. Capricorn is more about career and reputation, so you would use your Capricornian energy to help people be more career-minded and things like that. But really, his 12th house is his 10th house, but we'll deal with that when we get to the 10th house. And also, whenever you're dealing with Capricorn or Saturn, you're dealing with karma. So we start off his natal chart with karma, because the 12th house is also about karma. And wherever it can be about buildings, people, your subconscious mind, dealing with your dreams and subconscious mind, bringing that out in the open so that you can reckon with it. And however he does it, it's going to be kind of serious-minded because of the Capricorn energy. When you go to his first house, East Point is where the sun was going over the ecliptic when he was born. Now, right away, he's Aquarius, dealing with the people. So in verse 1 and chapters in house 1 and 12, he's concerned with social issues and dealing with the people. And Jupiter retrograde does just that. Jupiter retrograde wants to question spirituality and things like that, and theology and knowledge. Now, he may not be that interested in he's using his finances for the people, Aquarius, the community. Uranus retrograde means anything could happen at any time. Plus, he's got 5 degrees, so you have to be careful. The 12 degrees is somebody that's going to do a lot of hermit or hangman meditation. Might be, in some ways by himself at times. 27 degrees of the Neptune retrograde, that's somebody who wants to help others. 18 degrees of Pallas. Either way, if that's a soulmate indication or they like to help others, that 18 degrees would basically be like 666 or even 9, which is still kind of like a completion or of a spiritual number. Third house, communication house. So he's going to be some type of inspirational speaker. Like sometimes that's a Sunday school teacher. Now the funny thing about it is how natal charts work. Sometimes say, well, I don't know how that has to do with a Sunday school teacher, but sometimes it could even be a person in Sunday school. And remember, when you look at your natal chart, it's your entire lifetime. But either way, Curious is retrograde, which means that it wasn't nurturing that would have been wanted, was not given out by this Pisces or by this Gemini energy. But either way, he will be communicating from a spiritual viewpoint. He'll be down with the brotherhood, spiritual communication, creatively. He may even create things with that spiritual information in mind. Fourth house, Aries. Usually when you see Saturn retrograde, it's some form of abuse. But whenever you see Aries in the fourth house, you know that's off the hook. And you got to be careful for young ones because it could even mean abuse. And once again, you see that 19 degrees. So the fire sign again. Because you see fire sign in house 11, good fortune at 19 degrees. Then you see fire sign Aries in house 4. And then if you notice, Juno isn't following, not Juno, Vesta's not following too far behind. Like I've always said, usually when you see Vesta close to Saturn and Saturn retrograde, it's because she's fighting against any form of abuse. And others say when you see Vesta conjunct Saturn, this is somebody who'll do anything to get what they want, what their goal is. Wherever you see Vesta on your chart, you have to slow down because you'll burn yourself out. And this is Taurus in the fifth house. Taurus in the fifth house is someone who wants to have fun. And usually the fun can be very sensual, sexual, could be massages. But they'll spend their money up. And that's why if you go back to his second house, which is the money house, well, now his second house has become his first house. So let's leave it that way. So if you go to his second house, it just has Pisces there. But if Aquarius was still his second house, that's somebody who will really spend money out. They really don't see the value of money. They'll use it for the people. Or if they're partying, they'll just spend it out. You know, they're not afraid to gamble the house. Or Taurus, sometimes people can come to them with a story and they'll go for it. Oh, this just happened, and they'll believe it. So these are all things to watch out for. Sixth house is dealing with Gemini energy. Why? Because Gemini is short-sighted and can lead to separation in a relationship. But the sixth house deals with healing. So they'll try to heal that Gemini energy in hopes of getting people to stay together. But the sixth house is all about service and duty and healing. But Gemini will help it become more about publishing this information. Could also be traveling, health-related travel, health-related service, health-related communications. Sixth house again, family, home, because the sixth house is the home, family, home, some type of family service. Either one of those houses could be business. And again, Cancer rules the fourth house, teenage education, land and property or real estate, family and ancestors, the heart, whichever person raised him in a mother's position when he was younger. That's Imam Coeli, that person will be in his subconscious mind. But this is also going on in the sixth house of the home. Seventh house, relationship house, which is his moon sign is Leo. And there's going to be a full moon in Leo on January 21st. So make sure for him he should check that out. Because at the same time, if you notice, that's when he gets that whole vertex cross, which can be your soulmate or your twin flame. Or 19 is a serious relationship. And this is in the seventh house. And the moon is at number 2, high sensitivity. So he's going to have a high sensitivity to love, especially with this either Leo or Libra that he'll be meeting in the seventh house of relationships. All right, so again, that's interesting. So even 19 is the sun, Juno. So so the person he'll be in a serious relationship with, that Juno energy will probably have some type of connection on their chart to the sun, either through numerology or directly. But him and her will have a unique sun connection. Well, because even his sun is in Virgo, but it's still at 6 degrees, and that's really like the number of love. That's even the number of the Lover's card. But that will be, because that's interesting. You don't often see Juno next to the vertex, because the vertex cross is, like I said, it could be a soulmate. It's a fated event. It's destiny. Soulmate is just anybody in your soul tribe, but it's usually somebody you're close with, one way or another. But Juno is usually somebody you're really in a serious relationship with. So when you see them together like that, it could be the same person. Sometimes it's not. But either way, he's going to have a relationship because it's in the 7th house. But if that's the same person, then it looks pretty good for a relationship. He went the moon there. And they'll both have a connection to the moon too. That's why when people be teaching metaphysics and they be trying to tell you that we are the stars, we are the sun, we are the moon, we are all in one and one. That stuff is in the Bible because Jesus said that. But they just take it and change it. And then people go by what they were taught and they don't go by what you show them. I just showed on my other channel, I just showed you a man that was talking to this preacher in Philly and he was showing them that this stuff's in the Bible, but the preacher in Philly refused to accept it because he had been taught by the people to run this matrix and the people to run this country or whoever, the real people to run it, that this is what, so that's what he chose to believe. But we're in a time now with awakening where that's all changing. Just like if you're noticing, this natal chart, this person has a connection to like Aquarius. See, Aquarius says, I know, because of the time of awakening, or that slavery knowledge doesn't work anymore. Doesn't work like it used to. And more people are waking up. But it looks like y'all have it. And remember, the number 27 is always about helping the people, logically setting up ways to help the people. And it can be your partner. Then you jump right over to the 8th house. Now, Virgo in the 8th house, because remember, Virgo is about health, seeing details, critical analysis. It's about the home. It's about service, young ones, daily activities. Co-workers and subordinates. Lilith is there, but if you notice, she's not retrograde. She's actually happy. See, these two people, they got a connection. Both of them got a connection to the sun and the moon. Because Lilith is like the dark side of the moon. And she's at 6 with the sun. And then the sun in Scorpio. And then you got that high number 19, which is a spiritual number, retrograde. So there will be some type of communication problem. Or sometimes all Mercury retrograde means is like they're going to be trying to teach us shit that people ain't going to want to hear. They're not going to accept it. Just like I just got finished saying. Because they're actually going to have the ability to show you secrets of the sun and the moon. And then, the true north node is 19 degrees again, which again is the sun. So, see, Lilith is a very interesting person. Because I've seen natal charts where Lilith actually brought the couple together and Lilith actually kept them together. Now you see Lilith right here and she looks happy. She's right with the sun, right at the same degree, a 6, which is the lover's number. Because that's all Lilith wanted in the Garden of Eden. According to the mythology, Adam said, lay down so I can have sex with you. And then she said, you lay down so I can have sex with you. And he wouldn't do it. So once she felt like he was trying to put her underneath him, not equal, she was out. So here in both these houses, it just looks like she's happy because you're seeing a balancing of the sun and the moon. As far as the energy and the placement is concerned. And she looks like she's happy with that. Ironically, Dark Star Astrology says Sun conjunct Lilith, and they immediately connected with sorcery. That's interesting. Sun conjunct Lilith plays out as the ego feeling exiled from the dominant cultural system. But you got to understand you got to listen to what's going on. Why did Lilith leave Adam? Because she felt he was trying to dominate her. He didn't want to be equal. He wanted some testosterone, and she didn't like it. So they're saying this could be abuse from an authority figure. And again, either this natal chart would have to reveal that, or you would have to get the female's natal chart, because that may be something she undergoes with someone near her and not with this natal chart. It could be, but it would have to be more, indication of such. It says the closer Lilith is to the sun, the more it may feel eclipsed. Therefore, the taboo is cast over these subjects to identify to the extent that they can become demonized. The sensitive folks may fall for the forbidden fruit of drugs to numb the pain of feeling like an outcast. They say Sun conjunct Lilith has a countercultural behavior. So they often do not feel like they belong or are part of a family. They suggest that this person bonds with nature or animals. Now I said, if other planets confirm this, their sexuality will be instinctive and untamed, and they feel very comfortable in their own skin. So it amazes me how they just got finished saying how this person will feel like they don't fit in and yada, 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 yada. Then all of a sudden, as soon as they get to sexuality, this person will be instinctive, untamed, and they'll feel very comfortable in their own skin. That's interesting. They say this subject may, in their defense, totally reject any solar collaboration for fear of being totally outshone. And that's why I said this is a perfect example of what I'm saying. Everybody gives Lilith a dirty end of the stick. Oh, she's mean and she's selfish and self-centered and she's a murderer and this and that. Basically, the way I know Lilith is you don't fuck with her, she don't fuck with you. But if you fuck with her, you gonna pay, and the dearest things to you are gonna pay also. Because this whole chart, going by the numerology and the placement, she's happy. She's happy because she feels like finally equality, which is all she ever wanted if you go back to the thing. So I don't see all this feeling outshined and all that. They say this type of female will refuse to marry, but on the natal chart, she's ready. Juno, right there with the vertex, in the 7th house. That female's ready. That's why I say, deal with experts. That's about like me, I'm a little bit different. Let's just say it was a guy out here on YouTube, and he was just a fucking asshole. But he knew his shit. Me personally, I'm dealing with him. Because why the hell am I dealing with somebody who don't know what the fuck they talking about? That's just stupid. And they get mad because I tell them the truth. But that's why I love being me, because I'm still going to tell you the truth. Guess what I did? I wasn't feeling too good last couple of days. A lot of stuff's been going on. Guess where I always go when I don't feel too good? Maybe not always, but where do I tend to go when I don't feel too good? Good old-fashioned Andy Kaufman. Why? Because he came out with his vision, he stuck to it, and he could care less what anybody else thought. And that's what made Andy Kaufman, to me, one of the greatest of all time. Because he really didn't care about numbers. He didn't care about none of that crap. He kicked his truth, and he stayed loyal to it. And very few people do that. Because it takes a lot of balls to do that. So these people will be sexually magnetic and intense because of the fiery creativity of the sun fused with the piercing intuition of the black moon. And I believe that part's true. Because you notice this is all around the Scorpio area. So Scorpio deals a lot with sex. So it's going to be high sexuality. These people are closely connected to the spirit world and can perform powerful magic for good or for ill. If they feel exiled, these folks will create their own brand of sexuality or moral code. So in effect, Sun conjunct Lilith crowns itself. And they start giving you examples of people who have Sun conjunct Lilith. And this is darkstarastrology.com, Sun conjunct Lilith. Alright? So basically, she's happy. And I believe that the communication, all Mercury retrograde really means is this. It can mean two things with this placement. That when they speak, people won't understand them. Because you already thought she was misunderstood. Oh, Lilith next to the sun. Oh, she's going to be upset and blah, blah, blah. But she looks happy to me. The 7th house and the 8th house look great. But they may, others may misunderstand them when they talk. Or they may have some misunderstandings among themselves. Only they would know that. But going by the numerology and everything, that's what I would say. Because Venus is service. So it seems like when they're trying to serve others, they get misunderstood by others. Because that's usually what Mercury retrograde means. When you're talking, others misunderstand you. And then they go to the 9th house of higher self. And look at that. Temperance again. And temperance is Sagittarius energy. And then you see the couple right there. So far, whatever drama this guy has is not necessarily affiliated with the female, his counterpart, especially once they get to the 7th house, 8th house, and 9th house. And the 9th house looks incredible because it looks like they're going to be traveling worldwide. Now, whether that's really traveling worldwide or World Wide Web, who the heck knows? But it looks great with Venus at 14, and that's temperance, or the balancing of the two energies, or Sagittarius energy. And it's probably going to be finances in that ninth house as well, because Venus is also about finances, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is about finances. And then they even have healing at 29 degrees, and 29 degrees can mean karmic assignment, healing. Can also mean when people learn a little bit more maturity at the end, because that's the final degree, 29 degrees. Next degree starts everything over in a new house. So they'll even have healing. Now in the 10th house, you see karma again, but you still see that number 9. If you notice, number 9 and number 27 are really following these people, and even 19 is a kind of number 9. But this is going to be a very intense house with Mars in Scorpio. Mars used to rule Scorpio. But again, when you go to his 8th house, you see Virgo right there. So that's still kind of strange. It's almost like they're gonna find a way to use like different sciences, or different healing practices or medications and stuff like that. But it's something about that Mars that might be a problem. And this is going to be karmic as well, because 17 represents karma. The 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn, which represents karma. So I would really say just be careful of the Mars. Well, Mars rules the Aries. Now that can mean a abuse of power. Saturn retrograde with Mars, so it may be some type of abuse of power. But again, it's not enough information to say who the abusive will be. It just depends. It could be somebody they work for, somebody they're doing business with, or it might be one of them or something like that. If somebody helped them get their business off the ground financially, it might be that type of person. Only they would know. But it definitely the Mars energy. So their 10th house is going to be somewhat intense because of Mars used to rule Scorpio. Both of those are very powerful, warring. But they both get into power struggle, who's going to win and all that. So it will be a goal to try to get that 10th house on the check, but it goes right back to the 12th house of endings. So you know how it is, like I said, when you think about somebody like Malcolm, he had a war on his hand because he tried to change the wheel, and the people that run the wheel are not going to let you change it. So that might be the warring as well. And like I said, it's not enough on this natal chart to know exactly what it is. And then goes to number 19 again, like the sun, good fortune. Sagittarius in the 12th. Sagittarius in the 12th is a little bit like having Jupiter in the 12th, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So it's almost like a guardian angel that, as long as they're unselfishly serving and serving others, they would have blessings from Jupiter energy, and probably Venus energy too, because Sagittarius is right there. Pluto always causes transformation, but the 12th house deals a lot with secrets, and And Pluto deals with secrets too. Also because the Scorpio deals with secrets. So when you put both those houses together, the 10th and 11th houses, it might be like Pluto might be changing those Scorpion type people, and that would be like war. Like even when Christians say, "Oh, I'm in spiritual warfare," so you would see like if Christians was doing astrology, they might use Mars to represent war, but it's still spiritual. So when you put both your 10th and 11th house together, or excuse me, you put your 10th and 11th house together, that might be what you're getting. The transformation of these people, but represented by Scorpio. Just like Revelation chapter 9, that's what you're looking at. Revelation chapter 9 is the transformation of those people coming out that bottomless pit. And when they opened up the bottomless pit, it became dark or black smoke. So this is all about Bible metaphors for these people. And if you don't agree, all you have to do is go to myastrologybook.com, and they tell you that Pluto, who rules Scorpio, is the planet of black people. And then when you read Revelation 9, you see talking about scorpions. Because Revelation chapter 9 is talking about that bottomless pit or the underworld where these people are in a dead-like state, but they will wake up and come up out of it. So let's do part of fortune in the 12th house. So part of fortune in the 12th house means this person has a unique opportunity to transform or dissolve his own karma. They have mediumistic talents, which means they're psychic, and they have the gift of prophecy. His dreams often give him answers. He has a flair for spirituality, mysticism, illusion, and fantasy. This person can be productive in film, television, and works of fiction. If he has enemies, they may all of a sudden change their attitude towards him from hostility to neutrality, and sometimes even be benevolent to him. And this person is treated well by healthcare professionals. And it's funny because we've linked his 10th house up to Virgo or health. All right, part of fortune in Sagittarius. So he'll be using his in the 12th house. He'll be serving others by being a teacher and teaching them, his belief system, which they tend to call philosophy. But remember, a lot of people even call metaphysics philosophy. But metaphysics is not a philosophy; it's a science. But when they don't want you to believe it, they're going to say, oh, that's just philosophy. Just a bunch of guys standing around philosophizing, you know. No big deal. Because they don't want you to know the truth. All right. And again, that's the purpose of Sagittarius in the 12th house, to teach others. But also it's going to be, like I said, transformation. But again, they're going to be transforming people. Because like I said, when you look at Aries in the 4th house, that could be anything. Person came from a dysfunctional family. Somebody was way too strict. Saturn retro. It could be anything. But still, when you get to the 10th house and you see Mars in Scorpio, well, you do go to war. Like I said, it's spiritual warfare, because you're trying to show these people like something that Elijah Muhammad did, or Clarence X, or anybody else, or Malcolm, because they are going to war, because they're showing these people their ways are wrong, and you got to get up off that whole Scorpio self-destructive mentality. And then in that way, they're raising the darkness up into the light of knowledge and self-awareness. When they say knowledge born, so if knowledge is unborn, it's almost like still in the womb, but the womb can be dark. But when you teach this person, they begin to show it and manifest. Now knowledge is becoming born. It's becoming into the light. Now you're illuminated because you're no longer deaf, dumb, and blind. So you kind of see all that on the chart. All right, so that'll end this. As you know, we do have sales going on. Learn more about the sales. Go to Archangel Revelation and Prophecies 444. Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. Because you see the ad is right there. It was just put on a few days ago. Shows you the services and products offered. We also do updating services on your natal charts. All contact information is there, usually in the description box, or even in that video itself. All right, so that's, and we have a lot of sales going on now. And I believe I said that, but I just repeat it. All righty, God bless.